The Pods are over 500, and it ain't the pitching kids. Plus, Manny Machado of the O's deserves a little of his own Harper Trout-esque hype. We tell you why as Wahl takes us on the winning edge. Tom Vandervoort from the Sporting News Studios, and expectations for the San Diego Padres weren't too high this year, but after a 5-15 start, they've climbed above 500, winning 10 of their last 12 ball games. Now, normally, this is when we talk about excellent starting pitching, but frankly, that just hasn't been the case for the Pods. It's really the bats that are driving this team, especially those of shortstop Everth Cabrera, who's hitting .444 in those games, and outfielder/first baseman Kyle Blanks, who's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs. Now, extra bases appear to be the key for the Padres recently, as evidenced by their team ISO, or isolated power rating, of 168 since June 4th. Now, to get ISO, you simply subtract batting average from slugging percentage, leaving you with a number that only counts the extra base hits. Now, while 168 might not sound high, remember that's a team number for just the extra bases and is third best in the majors for that stretch. Now, if the Padres are a bit of a surprise, Orioles third baseman Manny Machado may not be. He had a great beginning to his big league career in 51 games last year, starting with a triple in his first game and 2 home runs in his second. What is striking about Machado, however, is how the not quite 21-year-old has raised his already impressive game to an elite level. Look no further than his WAR, or wins above replacement number. That's a stat that attempts to put hitting, fielding, and base running prowess into a number of wins a player generates compared to an average replacement player at his position. Now, that's a lot of information in one stat, and there's more than one way to calculate it. But Fangraphs has Machado's WAR at 3.8, sixth best in the majors, while Baseball Reference has him at 4.1, which is 4th best on their list. And remember, that number of additional wins comes from fewer than half the team's games. That is absolutely huge. Now, as a former shortstop forced to play third because J.J. Hardy is at short for the O's, Machado is definitely delivering with the leather, too. His UZR, or Ultimate Zone rating, of 14.6 has him as the best defensive third baseman this season so far, but that number is also far and away the best one in the league. There are only 3 guys with the UZR over 10, and the other 2 are 10.2 and 10.4. Now, Machado's 32 doubles, by the way, almost 40% more than the second place guy. I could go on, but for a young player, this kind of improvement just when the league should be figuring him out, well, that's kind of nuts. I'll be back next week with more stats and more insight as Wahl puts Major League Baseball on the winning edge again. From the Sporting News Studios, I'm Tom Vandervoort.